Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast. My name is Greg Phelps, and on today's episode, Teepa will be chatting with April Kohnen, owner and director of Griswold Home Care for North San Diego. April's location recently achieved their goal of becoming a positive approach to care designated organization. What does this mean exactly? Well, let's find out with Teepa and April.
Well, yes. So I'm Teepa Snow and quote unquote expert. Well, I don't know about being an expert, but I do know that it takes commitment and courage and skill to become better at what you want to do. And so April is here today because her organization, Griswold Home Care of North
San Diego.
I know I got to put it all together. It's a lot of words.
You got it.
When I put it all together, they're our newest designated organization in California. And they're our first home care organization in California to become designated. So April, thank you for being here.
Teepa, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited.
I have a question
to be speaking with you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out, right? Usually it's okay. So my question for you is a designated organization. We've only started doing this a few years ago, and I'll share why we opted to do this. Because when we looked around the whole of the United States, we discovered there was no skill-based designation for delivery of care support for people living with dementia and their care partners. I mean, there just wasn't. And we thought, well, how could there be nothing out there that's really skill-based versus, you pay money, you watch a video and click. But there really isn't. And so we said, well, we think there needs to be. And we think it's a process. So we're going to kick it off because we don't pretend to own anything in the world except the idea that people living with dementia, their care partners and professionals deserve better awareness, knowledge, and skill so we can do better because we want our care to be top. So for some reason, you decided, I'm interested in this. So you are the person who directs this support system in your area with Griswold Home Care. Tell me a little bit about why you opted in.
Yeah, so I'm the owner and director here at Griswold Home Care for North San Diego. And the reason why we decided to opt in and go through this journey of becoming a designated organization with PAC is because we saw the need. And we saw that there was, as you explained, there was that training missing from the one-on-one interaction that we have with our clients with mild cognitive impairment, brain change, a diagnosed dementia. And so when I came across and slowly but surely in my journey of implementing a robust training program here at our company, I started getting glimpses of your videos. And, I became aware of Teepa Snow and the Snow approach. That led me to your website. Your website does a great job of spelling out the journey and what is involved. And I knew that's what we had been looking for. I love the core values. I love the way that the information is delivered so that all of our care partners, from retired medical professionals to someone coming just out of high school, maybe into a CNA program, can harness this information that we're delivering, these skills, and connect with them. So I just found it very approachable, very accessible.
Wow.
And exactly what we wanted our clients to experience when we interacted with them.
Ooh, well, I've got to say, you are one of an outstanding group of individuals who is willing to go, what I'm doing isn't what I want to be doing. I mean, I want more. I want more for myself, but I also want more for the people that work in our organization. And I really want more for the families and people we serve. I want it to serve all of us well. You want to transform what's going on so that, and I love the word harness. Harnessing is that I take it and I figure out how it fits, and then I make use of it. And that's so remarkable because that's why we do what we do, certainly. And it's very rare for people who are very successful in their business to be that curious about how could I be even more so effective, not just me, but my organization. And that's why it's not just being a certified trainer or a certified coach or a certified consultant. It's what, you know what? I want this whole thing to become what we are. I mean, we want to do this and we want to make sure we follow the guidelines. We want to make sure we're doing this the way it's designed. And you have done that. You are now part of that group, very rare group right now across the nation, I've got to say, because good enough is good enough for a lot of people. And yet, is it?
It's, in my opinion, it's not. I think what we're trying to achieve here is really deliver top-notch service, and not just service, but service through, like, the core values, authenticity,
Yeah.
and curiosity, like you said. And we want to empower our clients. So it was
To
a
live the best life, to live, everybody should be living the life they want to live and feel valued living. And that's so that work, whether you're a worker or you're a person living with or you're a family member, I get to live my life well because of how we're working together to have that happen.
And also, I want our care partners to continue enjoying what they do.
Mm.
And so what I love about some of the initial workshops that I attended, like the champion workshop that I was lucky enough to attend on that same couple days that I was in North Carolina for my trainer and coach certification. The mentor started with, tell me one word to describe dementia, and a lot of folks can say scary. They've encountered some scary situations where they feel like they don't have the training on how to properly approach or assist, someone in distress. And so I did not want our care partners to be in that situation, with the majority of our clients, living with MCI or a diagnosed dementia. And
Nobody
so I
should be
really,
locked out when they come to work with somebody saying, I don't want you here. Who told you to come here? I mean, that's not
yes,
a way to start a day. It's like,
yes, exactly. And so we had been teaching the how, but not the why.
mm,
And the why is what really helps a lot of us, because we're all different types of learners,
yeah.
make it click. And it makes our job so much easier to understand why people are exhibiting what they're exhibiting when they are trying to communicate, right?
Yeah. And so instead of
Right.
saying, your daughter told me to come, I'm hired to be here, it'd be, I am so sorry. I thought you knew I was coming. No wonder you're upset. Wow. Well, I apologize. I'm Teepa Snow, and you are, well, I mean, I apologize. I thought someone had said something to you. That's ridiculous. No one wants somebody they don't even know in their house. You know what? Do you want to do a phone call? Because we could call. I do not want you being uncomfortable with me here. But if a care partner doesn't know that, I mean, what's going to end up happening is, she won't let me in. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? And so now we got a fire at the office. And now you got to pause what you're doing to put out the fire. And then it's like, oh dear. And the daughter's like, why is my mom calling me and telling me somebody's trying to break in? Did you introduce her to, like, oh boy. And so our goal, your goal, all together is we want this to go better because people figure out what to do, not just, well, that didn't work. It's like, okay, yeah, well, it didn't work. What do we do now? Let's pause, let's breathe,
The
and realize,
pause.
oh,
We're using a lot of pause
a lot of
now.
pause. Yeah, it turns out, often pausing is the first step of change. And so you made this journey, and it's been a little bit, at least some challenging. There's no way it isn't, because when you do other sorts of recognitions, does it tend to be skill based, or is it just if you do this, this, and this, you're good to go?
Right. I mean, most of them are a lot of check the box,
Mm.
but the journey very rewarding. There are several steps. The good news is that you guys have spelled out the various milestones, and you have a dedicated team. Mine was Colleen and Jamie, who were fantastic in guiding me through. I also reached out to an independent certified coach and trainer in the area, Jordana, who
Cool.
also assisted us with some of the initial training of our care partners. So the resources are available. It's worthwhile. It's certainly not a check the box. It's very much skill based. I'm glad I went on the journey. I am the primary coach and trainer here, independent PAC certified independent trainer coach.
Yeah.
And so I got so much out of the in-person trainings that I attended at Snow Approach, and that kind of leads me to one thing. I have to give you kudos for the fantastic facilitators that you have.
Mhm.
um, I can't say enough wonderful things about how what a great experience I had. It was a packed room, right? And you had plenty of facilitators to ensure that everyone was connecting with the content. So very hands-on, and I really appreciate that. And I want to take this opportunity to, talk to Teepa, the CEO,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and how do you go about recruiting,
Uh,
these wonderful mentors that you have, facilitators?
yeah, the folks who facilitate. So it starts with learners. And so as we see learners that are like really engaged learners who really enjoy that multimodal experience they've had, and they engage openly, and they're curious, and they're authentically wanting to build some skill, and they go above and beyond that have to the, ooh, can I try that? I want to give that a shot. Yeah, let's try it. And so then they come back again for another certification because they realize, like, I really love trainer, but I want to work with people afterwards. So they get that skill and they use that skill, and I can coach them on that. That's really what I found out, that now I need that. And it's like, cool. So after two certs, we get a feel, because we do mentoring after each certification. It's not come to the workshop, okay, you're good. It's come to the workshop, now work on your skills. So we've got to develop your skills so that they'll set in the new way versus slide back into old habits. And so once we've done that, we get to know you a little bit. Those mentors who worked with you say, oh, I think I have somebody who has some skill, and they're showing some interest in wanting to move forward more effectively into a mentor role of really coaching and supporting other people. And they have that comfort at being only knowing 50% of what you're going to do in a moment, because the other person is going to bring 50%. And I can't know it all. I can't be a know it all. I've got to be super curious about, huh. So we're going to do some brain things here. We're going to look at different parts of the brain. Would you like to look at it first, or do we want to talk about it first? So there's got to be a curiosity. And then we go, whoa, well, that didn't work like we wanted. Let's pause, let's take a deep breath, and let's figure out together what we could do differently. Because so what did you like about what you did? And so they learn sort of some art of engagement, but they already have to like engagement. If you don't like engaging people, you probably will never be really a mentor with PAC, because you've got to get to that place where I am super curious, but I'm also wanting to be supportive. So, April, if you ever get, tired of your day job, but
I'm
that's
so
how you keep
flattered.
people engaged, is it's not like a one and done. We still work together. Every time we come together, there's learning. Every time we work together, it'll be, oh, hey, Matthew, tell me how many words you're using. And Matthew, without the, will go, too many. It's like, so what do you want to do maybe a little differently? Well, let me have them try some. Okay, go for it. And so we're always working with one another to build our skills. And that's what keeps people engaged. There's no dead end. There's no dead end job. There's no end to job. There's these possibilities. You're not forced to, but boy, is it fun when it's like, oh, that was fun. Let me do that again. It's like, cool. Yeah, that's what we want.
And that's also what I love about the curriculum that you have, is that there are several benchmarks in how I can build on my trainer and coach and work my way up, possibly, to mentor, you know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, growth is a process. It's not a done deal. And that's what's so fun, and how I think we bring people who like that growth mentality, that exploration mentality, versus the, well, okay, now we've got the formula. We'll just keep doing this over and over again. It's like, oh, well, that's probably not going to work in dementia. And it doesn't actually work well when we're trying to really help people change. So we love the idea of change, even though it's a challenge sometimes to change.
oh yeah, can be.
So, April, thank you for being a designated organization and leading the charge in that. But also, thank you for being curious, because what you just did is exactly what we look for. I did 50, you did 50. And together, we're changing culture of care. So, for all of you out there, if you're interested in doing something a little different, be interested enough to take the first step. Thanks, everybody.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.